try to find a way to just be active yourself and active with them. Go out for a walk with them. Go outside and play catch with them. Shoot a basketball. Take them to the park. Throw the football. Be active. I wholeheartedly believe practice what you preach. Run laps, lift weights. I think that's great. Don't be hooked on social media. Don't be hooked on video games. Don't be hooked on all the other outlets. There's so much more to life out there. And I feel like truly in my heart, man, like it starts with us. What's up, guys? How's it going? Dude, I am freaking fired up. Let's go. As always, welcome to Wallbreaker 200. I am your host, Raheel Siddiqui, coming to you, man. And man, I think you guys can hear it in my voice. And maybe for those of you who know me, should know why I'm fired up, man. You know I got to talk about my squad, man. Go New York, go New York, go. My Knicks up 2-0. Winning 2 amazing games in Boston against the Celtics, and taking that series back now to Madison Square Garden, and so excited for games 3 and 4, man. So fired up. Haven't been this excited for the Knicks in a long time. So, man, just so fired up, man. Just how we came together, the brotherhood, down 20 in each game, and way to just come back, fight back, storm back, defense, intensity, grit, bringing the lunch pail, hard hat coming to work. Reminded me of the old 90s Knicks style, the way that we played, just gritty, tough, love it. And as always, shout out to the Cap, Jalen Brunson, man, number one in all of our hearts, man. Literally, the city is yours. We love you, man. I mean, Cap, way to lead us. And but in the words of one of my favorite idols and heroes of all time, Kobe Bean Bryant, rest in peace. Job's not finished. We still got a lot of work to do. The Celtics are the defending champs for a reason. They're not going to just show up to the Garden and lay down. And we got to be ready. We got to be hungry. We got to be focused and, be ready to take their best punch, man, because it's do or die for them at this point mentally. And we got to be able to match that intensity. So hopefully MSG will be rocking for us. But now that I got that out of the way, how's it going? I just wanted to say, besides the fact that I'm so excited for my Knicks, I really am also very excited to talk about this specific topic. As you guys know, I'm always thinking of different ideas, different topics to bring to you guys that I want to always add value, always add impact when you are listening to my show. And I thought this was a very important topic, piggybacking, surprise, surprise, off my amazing trip last week in Las Vegas at the BYA conference, and just really fired up to talk about this specific topic. So let's get to it. So I wanted to talk about social media. Social media, I feel like it's king these days, right? Like in terms of people just constantly on the phone at work or at school, before work, before school, social activities, weekends, nights, in bed, social media all over. But not just social media. I think also in terms of the element, I should say, of social media, and also piggybacking off of that, just in terms of how we are so drawn to and glued to, and how far we've come in society from a technology standpoint, and when it comes to iPads and laptops and iPhones and touch screens, and everything is like digital now, and how we're so hooked on it, and especially for our youth generation. And I think piggybacking off of what I was saying, when we did our Vegas show, I was able to partner with my amazing partner in crime, hashtag Anna's Wonderland, Anna Moon, my girl. If you're listening, shout out to you as always, man. Miss you. Had a great time on stage with you. Had a great time meeting you last week, but also my group specifically. So one of the awesome exercises that the BYA group gave all of us was we did a podcast pitch festival. And what that was basically on the fly, we picked random groups to come together and pitch a podcast idea. The hook, the title, the group name, etc. And why would an audience want to listen to your podcast? And we had to go and present it on the stage. And every group had to go up there, and representing our group was myself and my partner in crime, Anna Moon. And we went up there and did our thing. It was freaking awesome. Had a great time. But the core of our podcast pitch to the group was how to convert introverts to ambiverts or extroverts. So if you're an introvert and you're listening to my show, I think this is a really great episode for someone like you. So I know a core piece to what Anna and I were talking about on stage was social media, right? How children, they are very introverted, or children maybe even a little bit older, like teenage years, high school graduates, post college, maybe a year or two after college. So like the true core of our podcast pitch idea was between 18 and 25 range of audience. But the goal was to let everybody know out there was the generation today, millennials, Gen X. It wasn't like how it was when I was growing up. When I was growing up, it was pretty much old school, right? The only thing that we had was video games, right? Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo, and that was pretty much it. There was no Instagram or Facebook or Twitter or Twitch or any of those things. And I feel like, it's a really big problem that I'm seeing today in terms of how the youth is in particular with social media. I mean, you got kids with cell phones now in middle school, high school, college. I mean, they got Instagram accounts, middle school, high school, college, social media, Twitter, Snapchat, Twitch, etc. Gaming all day, gamers, quote unquote, all day, and they're glued to it. And I think that's why they're so introverted, because they come home from school or they even come home from work as a young professional starting out their career. They were probably to themselves in high school and college, and they're young, and you're still developing your mind at 18 to 25. I mean, let's face it, any of us who are in our 40s, I mean, how many of us had the same mindset that we did in our 20s, right? Pretty much none of us at this point. I could be wrong, but I believe most of us, if not all of us, probably feel the same way, right? We were not the same person that we were in our 20s that we are, into our 30s or even 40s. I am not, for sure. So the core of what I want to talk about was the fact of why I feel like social media is a great tool. And I feel like, having these accounts and, having up-to-date news and figures in real lifetime is amazing through social media. And I think it's a great platform. It's a great tool. I mean, look, I'm somebody without social media. How would anybody know who I am, right? So I think for that aspect, I think it's beautiful to use. But I also do think it has become a problem for a lot, especially for our youth. So I really want to focus on our youth and even the adults who are around youth, whether you're a parent, whether you're an aunt, uncle, a teacher, an educator, a professor, somebody who is around younger generation kids, and you feel like they have this problem where they're introverted and you feel like they're always hooked on either social media or even video games, and they don't want to get themselves out there. They don't want to get involved. They don't want to meet people. They don't want to be socially active. They don't want to be socially, putting themselves out there, right? Having like that confidence to go out there and meet people, greet people, etc. And, one thing that I brought up at the podcast pitch festival was, one of the biggest problems that I had, speaking of myself personally, was I was a big time video games kid. I mean, I was literally just come home from school. Besides the eating junk food, I would literally just be hooked on my TV playing video games all the time. And I was hooked on it, even on weekends too. And I didn't think it was, at that time, obviously I was young, but at that time, I just didn't realize the damage it was going to do to me. I was very introverted. The guy that I am now is nowhere near what I was back then as a kid. And, shout out, I did win an NBA Jam tournament from my local New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, tri-state area. And my dad and I went to go to Florida to go play in the national tournament. But at that time, the national tournament wasn't NBA Jam. It was like games that weren't even released. So it was like with the best players in the world, basically. So I did place, like, I think top 100. Got a lifetime supply of Snapple too, which was nice. But even though my relatives came and took it all, so it wasn't really a lifetime of Snapple. But my point is that, looking back at it now, I wish that I had more of an active social life. I think we are in a, very delicate situation now where I feel like as adults, as parents, and if we are mentors, if we are leaders, professors, teachers, etc., aunts, uncles, etc., and we have an influence of our younger generation, I think we need to find a way to be better in terms of teaching them to get away from social media and then go towards social activity. So, for example, right, I feel like, let's just start with a parent. I'm a parent, right? I think one good idea, in my opinion, is if you're a parent and you have a child who's constantly hooked on just, the screen 24/7, again, social media, video games, all the outlets, etc., I think try to find a way to just be active yourself and active with them. Go out for a walk with them, go outside and play catch with them, shoot a basketball, take them to the park, throw the football, be active. exercise, right? I mean, I think that's the biggest thing. It comes down to this. I feel like it doesn't have to be physical health. It can be a lot of mental health too with this, right? And I think obviously, I was very overweight since I was pretty much, born my whole life. And obviously, turning to the TV and the screens and the video games, etc., didn't help my cause at all. But had I had a situation where I was active and I was outside more and I was being more socially active, maybe things could have been different. My father worked very hard. He was working 10, 12, 14 hours a day every other day. He would always talk to me and he did the best that he could. And, my mom too as well. But at the end of the day, it just comes down to myself, right? I mean, you have to also learn how to be accountable. But as a child, I feel like, those times were different back then. Again, we didn't have like the resources. We didn't have the tools that we have right now. Like I'm talking about parents like our age right now, parents who are in their 30s and 40s or even 50s right now. We didn't have a lot of the aspects. We didn't have a lot of the outlets. We didn't have a lot of the resources that we did right now. I mean, you go to like gyms right now. Gyms right now were not built like they were 20 years ago. They didn't have classes like they did 20 years ago. They didn't have like fancy gyms with saunas and steam rooms and pools. Maybe they did, but they were not how it is right now. Right now, it's like state of the art all over, right? I mean, you have so many different avenues that you can kind of go to with this. So I think my point is that I think we need to find a way, if we can find a way to make our youth understand the importance of, let's not be glued to the screen. Let's not be glued to Instagram. Let's not be glued to Snapchat, social media, Facebook, LinkedIn, or LinkedIn for work. I mean, but aside from that, LinkedIn's good for the professionals, but we'll leave LinkedIn out of this. But Twitter, Twitch, etc., video games, playing the Grand Theft Autos. I think, I'm not saying that it's the worst idea to have a little bit of downtime. I'm not. But to me, in my opinion, I do feel like if we can find a way to stress social activity, leave social media out and push our youth to social activity, I really feel like it's going to help them get out of their shell from being an introvert to an ambivert or extrovert to some degree. I feel like, if you can find a way to lead by example, I mean, that's the best way I can say it. And, my son, knock on wood, I just love the fact how he loves to work out. He loves to exercise. He loves to play sports. He's all about sports because all of the kids around him do, all of his cousins do, nephews, nieces, etc. Of mine, my wife's, etc. Kids at school. But then also at the end of the day, it starts with us. It starts with us parents, right? Like, my wife and him always go, for walks all the time at the park, at the school. And then you got me, right? I mean, 100%. I mean, he sees daddy, right? He sees daddy rolling and rumbling and tumbling and stumbling on that treadmill. He sees daddy just clanging and banging on those weights. And you hear it in my voice. I mean, I get so fired up talking about it, and he gets fired up seeing daddy do it since he was a baby, crawling, seeing me on that treadmill. Then he was, then he started to learn how to walk. Then he started doing little baby laps, around the basement because he saw daddy doing it. And now, he wants to, be a dog. I mean, just flat out be a dog because he sees daddy being a dog. I feel like seeing is believing. I'm going to say it again. Seeing is believing. I feel like if you want your youth, even for coaches out there too, another aspect of this too is coaches, right? If you're a coach in sports, I wholeheartedly believe practice what you preach. If you're going to tell your kids to go run suicides, you're going to tell your kids to go outside, run laps, lift weights, I think that's great. But I also do feel like in my heart, in my opinion, if you're somebody that can lead by example and show them that you can do the same thing, you're leading by example, you're showing them seeing is believing, then I think they're going to buy in, right? I mean, we're not talking about like, professional athletes like grown men. They're going to already be developed by then. We're talking about right now in like the critical times of their life where they're young and they're growing and they're trying to understand, how do I break out of my shell? What can I do? Is there any ideas? What can make me better? How can I meet people? How can I greet people? I think another thing is also put your kids in team sports, right? Put the girls in any sport they want to, right? I mean, they got girls playing flag football now, soccer, basketball, just like the boys. Flag football, soccer, basketball, baseball. Give them that team camaraderie. Give them that social activity. They're going to have practice after school. That's beautiful. You're getting social activity in. You're building team camaraderie. You are networking with people. You're not being an introvert now. This could be another way to kind of break you out of your shell. Now you're around your teammates, right? They're not just people that you're seeing. You're a teammate now. So I need to be able to communicate with my teammate now, right? I just think if you can find a way to really challenge yourself as an adult figure, like we said again, coach, mentor, parent, uncle, aunt, whatever it is, teacher, etc., and you are trying to find a way to have that younger generation break out of their shell and let go of the social media, let go of the screen time, let go of everything we talked about, and try to be more social. I feel like social activity is a beautiful way to really start getting things going. I mean, there's no better feeling to really just get your mind, your blood flowing, the oxygen levels pumping, everything, just the juices flowing. I feel like, the more active that you are, I feel like it's only going to set you up for success. I was telling everybody on stage in Vegas last week, the guy that you see now was not the guy that I was, when I was 10 or 15 or even 20, right? I had my moments. I was always loud because I have a loud voice, because I hear it all the time. But the confidence, right? I think that's the key word here, confidence. How do we get our introverts confidence? Because at the end of the day, that's what they are. They're lacking what? They're lacking confidence. And to me, I feel like if you can get them in a place where they are socially active and they are moving their bodies, I feel like it's also going to help open up their minds. It's going to open up their hearts. It's going to open up everything about them, right? So I feel like just find a way. And I guess also to piggyback off of this point, last point, is also the movie, man, The Accountant. I don't know if you guys have seen it or not. I've seen one. I saw two. Both awesome. Love John Bernthal. He's the freaking man. I hope he listens to this. I doubt it, but if he does, man, you're a beast. I've always been a big fan of yours. Just an absolute beast. The Punisher. I loved him in a lot of other stuff. But my man, Christian Wolf, right? I mean, he was a severely autistic kid, and he had a lot of issues, social awkward to the outside public. Their dad was an ex-army military guy. And what did he do to help break him out of his shell? He made him and his brother go through training, right? They learned how to train. They learned how to be active. They learned how to defend themselves. They learned how to, just finally break out of like what Christian Wolf was. His brother didn't have the issues that Christian did, but my point is that he put both brothers together so they can stick by each other to be there for one another, right? And then Christian Wolf became Christian Wolf, the freaking man, the accountant, right? But I think to me, it all started with the fact of like their dad put them in that situation to be socially active, right? Put them in training, made them go to work every day, get up in the morning, get active, get physically fit, get in the best shape of your life, open up your mind, open up your body, open up your heart more, right? Don't just be stuck in your room, and just don't be hooked on social media. Don't be hooked on video games. Don't be hooked on all the other outlets. There's so much more to life out there. And I feel like truly in my heart, man, like it starts with us. It starts with us right now. Our youth, man, they really need us. And I truly believe seeing is believing. I really do. I really feel like my son would not want to fall in love, or he would not be falling in love with all of everything he falls in love with right now if we did not give him that example, right? My wife and myself, right? I mean, he sees me working so hard every single day when I post on my Instagram and I'm at the gym and I'm sweating my freaking ass off, man. I'm working so hard. I show him those videos because I want him to see, look, daddy's not just telling you, man. Daddy's showing you, right? Daddy wants you to be great, but I want you to be great. But you are not going to know how to be great at 5 years old if I just stop. I got to keep going. I got to keep showing you. And then hopefully over time, it's going to click. And I think in my heart, I truly believe it's clicked in him, but I still need to keep going. I still need to keep showing him that. Seeing is believing, right? I think that's one area of advice I would love to give. I would never tell anybody how to raise their kids. I would never tell any teacher how to teach their students. I would never tell any coach how to coach their kids. All I'm saying is if you have students, if you have kids, if you have children, nieces and nephews, etc., and they're introverts and they need help breaking out of their shells, they need help breaking away from their cell phones, from their video games, from their laptops, get them outside. Put them in team sports. Go work out with them. Go be active with them. Go run around with them. Get them out there. Get the blood flowing. Get it pumping. Put them in a team sport. Try that. I promise you, man. I think it's going to be great. It's going to be beautiful, and you're going to see a different side of them. I promise you. So I just think in the end, that's what it comes down to. Find a way to turn social media to social activity. And I feel like that's one really strong suggestion that I would give everyone out there, especially for the introverts out there, in the younger generation that listen to me. And again, one last time for the adults that are in charge of these introverts, younger generation, if you have an influence on them, man, let's all do it. Let's all do it together. Let's keep doing it together. Because that's the whole point of my show. It's all about breaking walls down. I'm not doing this alone. I need you guys to do it with me. I want to do it with you. I hope you guys want to do it with me. Let's do it together. All right, guys, that wraps up our episode for today. Thank you guys for tuning in. Wallbreaker 200. Hit that subscribe button. Smash that for me on my YouTube channel, on all audio platforms, Wallbreaker 200, Spotify, Apple, Deezer, you name it. More content, more surprises coming out, more episodes coming out as well. Much love. Thank you guys for tuning in. Until next time, peace out. It's your boy, the Wallbreaker.